Hello students, this is your English lesson. In this lesson we are going to read unit number 2, The Ransom of Red Chief from Oxford Modern English 6. Let's get started. First of all, words to know. Accede, to agree to a demand or request. Buggy, here a horse-drawn cart. Counter proposition, an offer made as an alternative to a previous one. Foreclose, to take back a property that was bought with borrowed money because that money is not being paid back as agreed. Mortgage, a loan usually taken when buying property. Prominent, important, well known. Provisions, food, drink, and equipment. Scout, a soldier or other person sent out to investigate in secret. Subjugation, to be brought under complete control. Concord, surreptitiously, without being noticed, secretly. Treachery, betrayal of trust. A story about a kidnapping in which the kidnappers get more than they bargained for. We were down south in Alabama, Bill Driscoll and myself, when this kidnapping idea struck us. Bill and me had about $600 and we needed just $2,000 more to buy some land in western Illinois. We figured that family love is strongest in semi-rural communities and decided to do our kidnapping in Summit, a small town. We selected for our victim the only child of a prominent citizen named Ebenezer Dorset. Mr. Dorset was known for his wealth, which he made from lending mortgages and making foreclosures. The kid was a boy of 10 with freckles and bright red hair. Bill and me figured that Ebenezer would agree to pay a ransom of $2,000. But wait till I tell you what happened. About 2 miles from Summit was a little tree-covered mountain. On the rear slope of this mountain was a cave. There we stored provisions. One evening we drove in a buggy past old Dorset's house. The kid was in the street throwing rocks at a kitten on the opposite fence. "Hey," says Bill, "would you like some candy?" The boy threw a piece of brick at Bill's head. That boy put up a fight, but eventually we got him in the buggy and drove up to the cave. After dark, I drove the buggy back to the village I had hired it in and walked back. Bill was examining and treating the scratches and bruises on his face and legs. There was a fire burning in the cave and the boy was sitting by it with 2 buzz-tailed feathers stuck in his red hair. He points a stick at me and says, "Ha! Cursed paleface, do you dare to enter Red Chief's camp?" "He's all right now," says Bill. "We are playing Red Indian. I'm old Hank, Red Chief's captive, and I'm to be scalped at daybreak." Ouch! That kid can kick hard. That boy seemed very happy. The fun of camping out had made him forget that he was a captive. He immediately named me Snack Eye, the spy, and announced that I was to meet my end the next day. Then we had supper, and he filled his mouth full of meat, bread, and gravy and talked. His speech went something like this: "I never camped out before. It's fun, but I had a pet once, and I was 9 last birthday. Are there any real Red Indians in these woods? I want some more gravy. Do the moving trees make the wind blow?" We had 5 puppies. "What makes your nose so red, Hank?" "My father has lots of money." "Are the stars hot?" "Do oxen make any noise?" "Why are oranges round?" "A parrot can talk." but a monkey or a fish can't. Every few minutes he would remember that he was Red Indian and would let out a war whoop that made old Hank shiver. That boy had been terrorized from the start. I says, "Kid, would you like to go home?" "Ah, what for?" says he. "I don't have any fun at home. I hate school. I like camping. You won't take me home, Snake Eye, will you?" "Not right away," says I. "Yay," says he, "I never had such fun in all my life." At about 11 o'clock, we spread down some white blankets and went to bed. Red Chief kept us awake for 3 hours, jumping up and reaching for his rifle and screeching in our ears as each crackle of a twig or the rustle of a leaf made him imagine that outlaws were approaching. At last I fell into a troubled sleep and dreamed that I had been kidnapped and chained to a tree by a ferocious pirate with red hair. Just at daybreak, I was awakened by awful screams from Bill. I jumped up to see what the matter was. Red Chief was sitting on Bill's chest, holding him by the hair. In his other hand, he had the sharp knife, and he was seriously trying to take Bill's scalp, as he'd promised the evening before. I got the knife away from the kid and made him lie down again. But from that moment, Bill's spirit was broken. He laid down on his side of the bed, but he never closed an eye again in sleep as long as that boy was with us. "And it awful, Sam? No one will pay money to get a little imp like that back." "His parents will," says I. I went to the top of the little mountain and looked around over towards Summit. I expected to see a search party, but what I saw was a peaceful landscape. "Perhaps," says I to myself, "it has not yet been discovered." When I got to the cave, I found Bill backed up against the side of it, breathing hard, and the boy threatening to smash him with a rock half as big as a coconut. He put a red hot boiled potato down my back, explained Bill, and then mashed it with his foot, and I hit him. I took the rock away from the boy and kind of patched up the argument. "I'll fix you," says the kid to Bill. By and by, Bill calms down and says, "Sam, you won't go away and leave me here alone, will you?" I went out and caught that boy and shook him until his freckles rattled. "If you don't behave," says I, "I'll take you straight home. Now be good." I made him and Bill shake hands. Then I took Bill aside and told him I was going to Poplar Cave, a little village 3 miles away, to find out what reaction the kidnapping had caused. "You know, Sam," says Bill, "I've stood by you in earthquakes, fire, floods, and cyclones. I never lost my nerves yet till we kidnapped that kid. You won't leave me long with him, will you?" "I'll be back soon," says I. "You must keep the boy amused till I return. Let's write a letter to Mr. Dorset demanding the ransom and how it should be paid." Bill and I wrote it while Red Chief strutted up and down guarding the cave. Bill begged me tearfully to make the ransom $1,500 instead of $2,000. So, to relieve Bill, I agreed. "Ebenezer Dorset, ask. We have your boy. It is useless for anyone to attempt to find him. We will only return him if you meet these terms. We demand $1,500, the money to be left at midnight tonight at the same box as Your reply at the lone tree. Send your answer by messenger at the 8:30 tonight. If you attempt any treachery, you will never see your boy again. If you pay the money, he will be returned to you safe and well. These terms are final, and if you do not accede to them, no further communication will be attempted. Two desperate men. I walked to Popular Cove and sat around the post office store chatting to customers. One guy says that he hears Sumiti is all upset on account of Elder Dorset's boy having been lost or stolen. That was all I wanted to know. I posted my letter surreptitiously and came away. When I got back to the cave, Bill and the boy were not to be found, so I waited. Half an hour later, Bill appeared out of the bushes. Behind him was the kid, stepping softly like a scout with a broad grin on his face. Bill stopped, took off his hat, and wiped his face with a red handkerchief. The kid stopped about 8 feet behind him. Sam, says Bill, I'm sorry, but the boy is gone. I have sent him home. I have been subjugated to such awful tortures. I reached my limit. What's the trouble, Bill? I asked. I was rode like a horse, says Bill. Then I was given oats, sand, and edible. I tell you, Sam, a human can only stand so much. I takes him down the mountain. On the way he kicks and bites. But he is gone home. I showed him the way. I'm sorry we lose the ransom. But it was either that or me to the madhouse. Bill says, I have a look behind you. Bill turns and sees the boy and loses his complexion and sits down. For an hour I was afraid for his mind, and then I reminded him that we would get the ransom and be off with it by midnight if old Dorset paid up. So Bill braced himself. This was my scheme for collecting the ransom without being caught. The tree under which the answer and later the money was to be left was in a wide open area. If any police came, I would see them a mile off. At 8:30, I was well hidden in the tree waiting. Exactly on time, a half-grown boy rides up the road on a bicycle, slips a note into the box, and paddles away again. I got the note and was back at the cave soon after by the lantern. I read it to Bill. Two desperate men. Gentlemen, I received your letter. I think the ransom you ask for the return of my son is a little high. I hereby make you a counter proposition, which I am sure you will accept. You pay me $250 in cash, and I agree to take him off your hands. But bring him at midnight so that the neighbors don't stop you. Very respectfully, Ebenezer Dorset. The cheek, I began, but I glanced at Bill and hesitated. His eyes were pleading with me. Sam, says he, we have got the money. This kid will send me crazy. I think Mr. Dorset is generous for making us such an offer. Don't let the chance go. Honestly, Bill, says I, he has got on my nerves too. We will take Dorset's offer and make our getaway. That night we got him to go by saying that his father had bought a new toy for him, and we were going to play with the new toys the next day. Just at the moment when I should have been collecting a ransom, Bill was giving $250 to Dorset. When the kid found out we were going to leave him, he fastened himself as tight as a leash to Bill's leg. His father peeled him away. How long can you hold him? Asks Bill. I'm not as strong as I used to be, says old Dorset, but I think I can promise you 10 minutes. Enough, says Bill. In 10 minutes I shall cross the country and be over the Canadian border. And as dark as it was, and as fast as Bill was, and as good a runner as I am, he was a mile and a half out of Summit before I could catch up with him. Now come to the exercises. Answer the following questions. A. Which part of the United States of America is this story set in? Answer. The story is set in the state of Alabama in the south of the United States of America. B. Why did the two men decide to kidnap someone? Answer. The two men decided to kidnap someone because they wanted $2,000 to buy some land. C. What is the first sign we have in the story that the kidnappers have picked a difficult victim? Answer. The first sign that the kidnappers have picked a difficult victim is that he throws a rock at Bill's head. D. What do we learn about Ebenezer Dorset? Answer. We learn that Ebenezer Dorset is a prominent citizen known for his wealth, which he made from lending mortgages and making foreclosures. E. What other crimes have Sam and Bill committed? Answer. They kidnapped the boy, put him in the buggy, and drove him to the cave. F. What do we learn about Johnny Dorset? Answer. We learn that Johnny Dorset is 9 years old, has red hair, talks a lot, is violent, has a great imagination, is not popular with his neighbors, and he likes camping. G. What games did Johnny play? Answer. He played a game in which he imagined he was a Red Indian. H. Why did Bill try to release Johnny before they had the ransom? Answer. Bill tried to release Johnny before they had the ransom because he is being driven mad by the boy who had been pretending that Bill was his horse. I. How did Sam and Bill get Johnny to go home? Answer. Sam and Bill got Johnny to go home by telling him that they were going to play with a new toy his father had bought him. J. Where did Bill say that he would get to in 10 minutes? Is that possible? What does he mean? Answer. Bill said that he would be over the Canadian border in 10 minutes, which is not possible. He meant that he would be going as far away as possible to get away from Johnny. These questions are more difficult. Discuss them first. K. What effect did Johnny have on the two men? Answer. Johnny exhausted, enraged, and frightened the two men. L. Which characters do you feel sympathy for? Why? Answer. I feel sympathy for Bill who got injured during the kidnapping. Answer the following questions with reference to context. A. At last I fell into a troubled sleep and dreamed that I had been kidnapped and chained to a tree by a ferocious pirate with red hair. 1. Who is this about? Answer. Sam is dreaming about Johnny. 2. Why is his sleep troubled? Answer. He has kidnapped Johnny, but the kidnap is not going according to plan. 3. Why is this a strange dream for this character to be having? Answer. Sam is the kidnapper, not the victim, but in his dream the roles have been reversed. B. I think Mr. Dorset is generous for making us such an offer. 1. Who is the speaker and to whom are the words addressed? Answer. Bill to Sam. Number 2. Who is Mr. Dorset and what is his offer? Answer. Johnny's father. He is offering to take Johnny back if the kidnappers pay him. Number 3. Why is this offer unusual in this situation? Answer. It is usually the other way around. The ransom is paid to the kidnappers, not by them. Working with words. Use these words and phrases in sentences of your own. A. Treachery. A spy was captured and thrown in jail for his treachery. B. Ferocious. Do not respond well to the ferocious manner of Dennis. C. Proposition. A proposition is a fact about the word which can be true or false. D. Surreptitiously. The lion cub surreptitiously crept up on the butterfly. E. Stood by you. He stood by you in difficult time and you left her now? F. Get on my nerves. Forgive me please now, but you are starting to get on my nerves. G. Like a leech. You are like a leech, sucking life out of me every minute. H. Patched up. Our roof leaked during that storm last night and I patched up some holes. I. Take it off your hands. Take your hand off me, she yelled. 2. Look at these sentences from the passage and change them into standard English. A. Bill and me had about $600. Correct English. Bill and I had about $600. B. I was rode like a horse. Correct English. I was ridden like a horse. C. And awful Sam. Correct English. Is it not awful Sam? D. Sand and edible. Correct English. Sand is not edible. 3. Find 2 or more meanings for each of the following. Use your dictionary. A. Rattle. Verb. Make or cause to make a rapid stream of short, sharp knocking sounds. Noun. A thing used to make a rattling sound. B. Scalp. Noun. The skin covering the head, excluding the face. Verb. To take the scalp of an enemy. C. Home. Noun. A place where one lives, the native habitat, a headquarters, the starting position. Verb. To go or return to one's residence, to be guided to a target. E. Glance. Verb. To take a brief or hurried look. Noun. A brief or hurried look. E. Figure. Noun. A number, a person's body shape. Verb. To calculate or work out. F. Prominent. Noun. Important, well known, sticking out from something. G. Store. Verb. To keep or accumulate something for future use. Noun. A quantity or supply of something kept for use as needed. H. Curse. Verb. To utter offensive words in anger or annoyance. Noun. A solemn utterance intended to invoke a supernatural power to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something. I. Noise. Noun. A sound, especially one that is loud or unpleasant or that causes disturbance. J. Movement. Noun, a very brief period of time, an exact point in time. Write the following sentences in your exercise book, putting a box or brackets around the subject and a line under the predicate. A. Bill rose slowly. Bill is subject, rose slowly is predicate. Be good. Johnny. Johnny is subject, be good predicate. Now I want you to go home. I is subject, now want you to go home predicate. Nobody got any sleep because of the noise. Nobody subject, got any sleep because of the noise is predicate. Just do it you. You is subject, just do it is predicate of the sentence. Add suitable subjects to the following so that they become complete sentences. A. He ambled down the road. B. At the end of the day, he stretched out in his chair. C. In large mansion lies selfish people. D. When they arrived, she looked astonished. E. Dogs chased the cats. F. John cleaned up the mess. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.